Millions of car owners are bleeding money at the pump every single week. And the worst part? The fixes are so simple, it's almost embarrassing. Before you waste another dollar on gas, here are 15 fuel-saving tips that actually work. Don't skip any tips. Let's get into it with secret number 15. Don't overfill your tank. You're literally paying for gas that never moves your car 1 inch down the road. Here's the kicker. Gas stations have vapor recovery systems specifically designed to pull those extra drops right back into their underground tanks. So you're paying them to reclaim fuel you already bought. Stop at the click. Every single time. Your wallet will feel the difference faster than you think. And speaking of things at the pump that most drivers completely ignore, this next tip takes about 3 seconds and costs you absolutely nothing. It will save you hundreds of dollars at the repair shop. Secret number 14, fuel cap holder trick. Most drivers yank the fuel cap off and either hold it, balance it on the car, or set it on the roof where it slides off and becomes a $40 replacement. But look at the inside of your fuel door. Right there on the door itself, almost every modern vehicle has a little notch or hook specifically designed to hold your fuel cap while you pump. Here's how it actually works. When you let your fuel cap dangle or sit unlatched, you're allowing fuel vapors to escape into the air instead of staying in your sealed tank where they belong. Your evaporative emissions system is designed to recapture those vapors and route them back into the engine. Every time you break that seal carelessly, you're venting fuel economy directly into the atmosphere. Here's the kicker. A loose or improperly seated fuel cap is one of the most common triggers for a check engine light, and it can reduce your fuel efficiency over time by allowing vapor loss that your system constantly has to compensate for. 3 seconds to click it into that holder. That's all it takes. And if you think that was an easy win and save you from a check engine light problem, this next one costs almost nothing but can recover miles per gallon you didn't even know you lost. Secret number 13, change your car's air filter. Your engine is basically a giant air pump. It needs clean, unrestricted airflow to burn fuel efficiently. A clogged air filter is like trying to run a marathon while breathing through a wet sock. Your engine compensates by burning more fuel to make up for the oxygen it's not getting, and your miles per gallon takes the hit every single mile. Here's what they don't tell you. Most drivers go 30,000 to 50,000 miles between air filter changes when the recommended interval is closer to 15,000 to 20,000 miles, sometimes less if you live somewhere dusty or drive on unpaved roads regularly. A severely restricted filter can drop your fuel economy by up to 10%. That adds up to real money over thousands of miles. Here's the kicker. An air filter replacement costs $15 to $30 at any auto parts store and takes about 5 minutes. No mechanic required, no special tools. You're trading a cup of coffee for potentially hundreds of dollars in recovered fuel economy per year. There is no reason to skip this one, and if you think that's a simple fix, this next tip is something you can pour in at the pump and forget about. While saving thousands of dollars in car repairs, secret number 12, use a fuel system cleaner regularly. Before you roll your eyes, this is not the $3 miracle bottle from the gas station checkout counter that promises 50 extra horsepower. This is about using a legitimate, quality fuel system cleaner like Techron or similar detergent-based products on a scheduled basis to keep your injectors clean and your combustion chambers free of carbon buildup. Here's how it actually works. Over time, carbon deposits accumulate on your fuel injectors and intake valves. Those deposits disrupt the fine mist spray pattern injectors need to atomize fuel properly. Instead of a perfect mist, you get uneven droplets that don't combust efficiently. Your engine burns more fuel trying to produce the same power output. Independent studies have shown that significant carbon buildup can reduce fuel economy by 4 to 5%. Here's the kicker. A bottle of quality fuel system cleaner runs about $10 to $15 and is designed to be used every 3,000 miles or so, added directly to your fuel tank. That's roughly the cost of half a gallon of premium gas to prevent the kind of injector degradation that mechanics charge hundreds to clean professionally. Easy math. Now this next fuel tip sounds simple, but not many people know can save them 2 times more fuel. Secret number 11, park in the shade. This sounds almost too simple to be on the list. It absolutely belongs here. When your car bakes in direct sunlight, interior temperatures can climb to 130 to 160 degrees. The moment you start that engine, your AC system has to work overtime just to make a dent in that heat. That extra load hits your fuel economy immediately and stays there until the cabin cools down. Here's what they don't tell you. Fuel itself evaporates faster from a hot tank. Modern evaporative emission systems capture most of this vapor, but thermal stress on your fuel system components adds up over time. A hot fuel tank also affects fuel density in the short run in ways that underground storage tanks don't, because your tank is above ground and exposed to direct heat. Here's the kicker. Consistently parking in the shade or using a windshield sunshade isn't just about comfort. It reduces the load on your AC, lowers fuel evaporation, and means your engine starts cooling down faster on hot days, rather than fighting a 150-degree cabin from the jump. Free tip, free fuel savings. If you're getting value from these fuel-saving secrets, now's the perfect time to hit that like button. We've got 11 more tips that could save you thousands at the pump, and you won't want to miss the #1 secret that every driver needs to know. Now, once you're in that hot car, this next button is the one thing you should hit immediately before anything else. Secret number 10. Hit the AC recirculation button. Most drivers just blast the AC and hope for the best. To save more fuel, you have to hit the recirculation button first. Here's the difference. Without recirculation, your AC system is constantly pulling in hot outside air and trying to cool it from scratch. That's an enormous ongoing load on your compressor. With recirculation on, it's cycling already. Cooled interior air, which is dramatically easier to maintain. Here's how it actually works. Your AC compressor is driven by your engine. The harder it works, the more fuel it consumes, pulling 95-degree outside air through the system continuously, versus recirculating 72-degree interior air is not even a close comparison in terms of compressor load. Recirculation mode can reduce the fuel penalty of running AC by a meaningful margin, especially during the first 10 to 15 minutes of driving when the cabin is hottest. Here's the kicker. Once the cabin reaches a comfortable temperature, you can switch back to fresh air mode to keep things from getting stale. But that initial blast of recirculated cooling gets you comfortable faster, reduces compressor strain longer, and saves fuel in the process. It's one button. Use it. And if that button surprised you, this next maintenance item under your hood might be the most overlooked fuel saver on this entire list. Secret number 9, replace your spark plugs. Worn spark plugs are one of the quietest fuel economy killers on the road. They don't announce themselves with a dramatic noise or a warning light, at least not at first. They just gradually misfire, fail to ignite fuel completely, and force your engine to compensate by dumping in more fuel to maintain power. And you keep driving, completely unaware. Here's what they don't tell you. A single misfiring spark plug can reduce fuel economy by up to 30% on that cylinder. Multiply that degradation across multiple plugs, and you're looking at a serious drag on your miles per gallon that no amount of premium fuel or fancy additives will fix. Most manufacturers recommend replacing spark plugs every 30,000 miles for conventional plugs, up to 100,000 miles for iridium or platinum versions. The scary part is that your car can feel perfectly normal to drive while this is quietly happening under the hood. Here's the kicker. A full set of spark plugs typically costs $20 to $80 depending on the type and your vehicle. The labor to install them is minimal at most shops, or it's a straightforward DIY job on most engines. The fuel savings from a fresh set of properly firing plugs will pay for themselves many times over before the next replacement interval arrives. And while we're talking about things that quietly drain your fuel economy, this next one is a tip that will literally save you thousands every year in just fuel savings. Secret number 8, don't use premium fuel if your car doesn't require it. If your owner's manual says regular 87 octane, that is exactly what your engine was engineered to run on. The team that designed and tuned your specific engine spent years optimizing it for that fuel. Pouring in premium because it sounds better is like buying a tuxedo to mow your lawn. It costs more and accomplishes absolutely nothing extra. Here's how it actually works. Higher octane fuel resists pre-ignition in high compression engines that are specifically built to need it. Your regular grade engine cannot take advantage of that resistance. Your car's NOx sensors and computer will not suddenly unlock hidden performance or efficiency just because you paid an extra 40 to 60 cents per gallon. The cleaning additives in premium come from the same additive package as regular at the same station. Here's the kicker. Drivers who habitually put premium in regular grade vehicles can waste $200 to $400 per year for zero measurable benefit. That money would do infinitely more for your engine and your fuel economy if it went toward an oil change, a fresh air filter, or a fuel system cleaning. Save the premium fuel for cars that actually require it. Now, speaking of what goes into your engine, this next switch is one of the smartest fuel economy upgrades you can make at your next oil change. Secret number 7, switch to full synthetic oil. Conventional oil does the job. Synthetic oil does it better, with noticeably less internal friction. Friction is the enemy of efficiency. Every bit of energy your engine wastes overcoming internal resistance is energy that could have been turning your wheels. Full synthetic oil flows faster at cold start, maintains its viscosity and heat better, and reduces the mechanical drag inside your engine throughout the entire operating range. Here's what they don't tell you. The fuel economy improvement from switching to full synthetic is real, typically in the 1 to 3% range. That might sound modest, but over tens of thousands of miles, it translates to gallons of saved fuel. Synthetic oil also holds up significantly longer between changes, reducing the frequency of oil changes without sacrificing engine protection. Here's the kicker. Modern full synthetics are engineered to extended drain intervals, often 7,500 to 10,000 miles or more. The per-mile cost of synthetic oil versus conventional is frequently comparable or even lower when you factor in fewer changes. You get better fuel economy, better engine protection, and fewer trips to the shop. That's a clean sweep. Now, from what goes in your engine to what you're dragging around in the back of your car, this next tip might embarrass you a little. Secret number 6, get the junk out of your trunk. Fuel economy is a direct function of how hard your engine has to work. And one of the most common ways drivers make their engine work harder for absolutely no reason is by hauling around a rolling storage unit in their back seat and trunk. Golf clubs that haven't seen a fairway since last summer, cases of bottled water, a spare set of tires, tools, strollers. It all adds weight, and weight costs fuel. Here's how it actually works. Every extra 100 pounds you carry reduces fuel economy by approximately 1%. It sounds small until you realize that a lot of drivers are carrying an extra 200 to 400 pounds of unnecessary cargo every single day. That's a 2 to 4% fuel economy hit you're voluntarily paying for at every fill-up. Here's the kicker. Roof racks and cargo carriers add aerodynamic drag on top of the weight penalty. An empty roof rack can reduce highway fuel economy by 6 to 8% on its own. If you're not using it, take it off. Clean out the trunk. Your gas mileage doesn't care about your sentimental attachment to that bag of sand you've been carrying since February. And if hauling stuff is draining your fuel, how you drive on the highway might be draining it just as fast. Here's the button that can actually fix that. Secret number 5, use adaptive cruise control. Not all cruise control is created equal. Standard cruise control maintains a fixed speed by pushing the throttle harder whenever speed drops, which makes it a fuel economy disaster on hilly terrain. Adaptive cruise control is a completely different animal. It uses radar and cameras to anticipate what's happening ahead and adjust speed proactively rather than reactively. Here's what they don't tell you. Adaptive cruise control systems in modern vehicles are programmed to coast when slowing for traffic, rather than braking hard and then re-accelerating. They maintain optimal following distances that allow the vehicle to decelerate naturally, recovering momentum instead of burning fuel to rebuild it from scratch. Smooth, anticipatory driving is one of the most powerful fuel-saving techniques that exists, and adaptive cruise essentially does it for you on the highway. Some newer systems even factor in navigation data and posted speed limit changes to adjust throttle before you've even seen the sign. Here's the kicker. Drivers who use adaptive cruise control consistently on highway driving can see fuel economy improvements of 5 to 10% compared to manual driving or standard cruise control in varied traffic. If your vehicle has it, use it. If it doesn't, the next tip is the manual version of the same principle, and it costs you nothing to implement right now. And it starts with something you do before you even touch the accelerator. Secret number 4, always maintain the right tire pressure. Underinflated tires are one of the most widespread and most ignored fuel economy killers on the road. A tire that's running low doesn't roll efficiently. It creates more rolling resistance, which means your engine has to work harder just to maintain the same speed. It's like driving with the parking brake barely engaged, all day, every day. Here's how it actually works. For every 1 PSI drop across all 4 tires, you lose approximately 0.2% in fuel economy. That sounds trivial until you realize that the average driver's tires are running 6 to 8 psi below the recommended pressure without knowing it. That's a 1.2 to 1.6% fuel economy hit you're paying for every fill-up, all for want of 2 minutes and a $5 gauge. Underinflated tires also wear unevenly, which means you're shortening the life of a $150 per tire investment at the same time. Here's the kicker. Correct tire pressure is printed right on the sticker inside your driver's door jamb, not on the tire sidewall. The sidewall number is the maximum pressure, not the target. Check your tires monthly, especially as seasons change, since tire pressure drops approximately 1 psi for every 10-degree drop in outside temperature. Free maintenance, real money back in your pocket. And if you're losing fuel through your tires, you might also be losing it through a habit, so automatic, most drivers don't even realize they're doing it. Secret number 3, don't rest your foot on the brake. Resting your left foot lightly on the brake pedal while driving might feel like a neutral habit. Your car disagrees. Even slight pressure on the brake pedal engages the brake pads just enough to create drag against the rotors. Your engine is burning fuel to push the car forward, while your brakes are simultaneously working against that motion. It's like leaving your hand on a revolving door while someone else tries to push it. Here's what they don't tell you. This habit also generates heat that accelerates brake pad and rotor wear, turning what should be a $150 brake job into a $400 one. Drivers who ride the brake habitually go through brake components significantly faster than those who keep their left foot parked on the dead pedal. You're paying twice, once in wasted fuel and again in accelerated brake wear. Some drivers do this for years without ever connecting the dots between the habit and the surprisingly frequent trips to the brake shop. Here's the kicker. The fix is completely free. Left foot goes on the dead pedal. Right foot controls both gas and brake. That's it. One habit change that saves fuel, saves your brakes, and costs you absolutely nothing. And while we're under the hood fixing habits that drain your fuel, this next maintenance item is so small most mechanics forget to mention it. Secret number 2, replace your PCV valve. The positive crankcase ventilation valve is a small, cheap part that almost nobody talks about until it fails completely. Its job is to vent pressure from your engine's crankcase and route unburned gases back into the intake to be combusted again. When it clogs or fails, pressure builds up inside the crankcase, oil consumption increases, seals can fail, and your engine's efficiency takes a measurable hit. Here's how it actually works. A stuck or clogged PCV valve allows crankcase pressure to contaminate your intake system with oil vapor, fouling your intake valves and throttle body over time. That contamination disrupts airflow and combustion efficiency in ways that quietly drag down your fuel economy without ever throwing a dramatic warning light. Meanwhile, the pressure buildup stresses gaskets and seals in ways that lead to oil leaks that are expensive to fix. It's a chain reaction that starts with a $10 part and ends with a repair bill that makes you wish you'd paid attention sooner. And because the symptoms develop so gradually, most drivers never even suspect the PCV valve until a mechanic finds it during an unrelated inspection. Here's the kicker. A PCV valve costs $5 to $15 at any auto parts store. It takes about 10 minutes to replace on most vehicles and requires nothing more than a pair of pliers. It's one of the smallest parts on your engine and one of the most disproportionately impactful when neglected. Replace it every 30,000 to 60,000 miles and your engine breathes cleaner, runs more efficiently, and lasts longer. And now, the #1 fuel-saving secret that the best drivers in the world already know, and most everyday drivers never bother to learn. Secret number 1, anticipate traffic and coast. This is the single most powerful fuel-saving technique available to any driver of any vehicle, and it costs absolutely nothing. Every time you coast to a stop, instead of braking hard, your modern fuel-injected engine activates what's called deceleration fuel cutoff. It stops injecting fuel entirely while the wheels are still turning the engine. You are moving down the road for free. Here's what they don't tell you. Every unnecessary brake application means you burned fuel to build momentum, then paid again in brake wear to destroy that momentum. A driver who reads the road far ahead, lets off the gas early, and coasts smoothly to traffic lights and stop signs is essentially getting short stretches of free travel built into every single commute. Multiply that over weeks and months, and the fuel savings become genuinely significant. In fact, 2 drivers in identical cars on the same route can see a 15 to 20% difference in fuel economy based on this one habit alone. The best part is that once you train yourself to look further ahead and anticipate stops, it becomes completely automatic and you never drive the same way again. Here's the kicker. This habit also dramatically reduces wear on your brakes and tires, extends the life of your drivetrain components, and makes you a measurably smoother, safer driver. The best hypermilers in the world routinely achieve 20 to 30% better fuel economy than the EPA rating on the exact same vehicle, simply by mastering smooth anticipatory driving. No gadgets, no premium fuel, no additives. Just eyes up, foot off the gas, and let physics do the heavy lifting. Anticipatory driving is essentially free fuel, and the only investment required is attention. The further ahead your eyes are scanning, the more coasting opportunities you will find on every single trip. City driving rewards this habit most, where frequent stop-and-go traffic gives you dozens of opportunities per commute to let deceleration fuel cutoff work in your favor. Once the habit is built, most drivers report that aggressive close-following traffic actually starts to feel physically uncomfortable, because they can see how much fuel and brake life that style of driving burns through. Coasting is not passive or lazy driving. It is the most efficient use of momentum physics that any driver can apply, and it is available to you on every road in every vehicle, starting with your very next trip. There you have it, 15 secrets that can start saving you money at the pump immediately. Which one surprised you most? Which ones are you already doing? Drop it in the comments below. And if you're still losing money on your car, we've got a video on 15 secrets that can save you money from repair shops. Click it right now, it can save you a lot.